Hi, so this is my Program Challenge 3 submission. So I have this note here because a lot of this code is the same as my Programming Challenge 2. Because in that program I also had to get the state table and um, move between states on the input string. So I just explain a little bit here, explain the input for the table, I get the input for the table. This while loop just lets me rerun the program to enter in a new table without having to restart the program completely. And then I just get the starting state. I try to parse the table, and if it doesn't work, I just ask you for the table again, just so that, again, you don't have to restart the program completely if something goes wrong, or if you input something wrong, and you can just enter in try entering in the input again. So here I just get your final states, or that's the explanation. This is the input where I actually get it. I just print a table, same or about the same as the Program Challenge 2. This is just whether some of the input symbols are large, that is defined in the table up here. And if so, I mean, large as in multiple characters. And if so, then we will add this text and we will split on the commas down here. So I get your input string. And this while loop is the same as the one at the top, just so that you can try entering in a new input string without having to re-enter the table and restart the program completely. We're starting at the starting state, and then for each symbol in the input string, first we check whether we can move to another state through the empty string, or lambda or epsilon, same thing. And now we just print the current state that we're in and the input that we're currently using, and then we move with that input from those states, and then we print down here that we're moving to the states that we moved to. And this just fixes the display for the empty set. It just displays as this, and I'm just changing it to this for the empty set. And this basically just goes through each of the current states and checks the table, and then if there was anything in the table for that current state and that input symbol, then we're going to add those next states. Otherwise, we're just going to pass. And this raise key error is just because if you have a bad input symbol, then it will be the same thing as if you entered in another one that wasn't defined right here. So I just lumped these together as a key error, rather than initializing all of those null values. Then I went over this and that. So this will just check whether we can move through the empty string again. I could have done this as a separate function, probably should, but I just have it twice here and above. And this will check whether your string is accepted, and then edit this text variable, or this string variable here, and then that goes in here, so it's either accepted or not accepted. And then it just gets the inputs again, so we can rerun the program. Same thing there. So sorry. So I have our table there, starting state, final state, and we can see our table here. current states and the inputs, including the no input, and we see here there's one state defined here, and then an input string. So let's try this. So here the current state is S0, input is 0, moving to S2 and S0, and we can see up here S0, 0, and S2 and S0. So then moving to this one with the empty string, because we see here S2 to S1 on nothing. So that just adds that one in here. And then we see the current state is all of them, and input's 1, so we just move to this one. And then we move to this with the empty string again. And then the input's 0, so we're going to move to S0. Current state is S0, input is 1, moving to null state. And so it's not accepted. And if we try it again without that last part, we see here that we move to this one and then ending, and it is accepted. And you can try changing the table if you want. It's just the current state and input, and then all of the possible next states. And if it's just moving to a null state, just leave it empty, and it'll automatically do that. Again, current state, and input, and then next states. And we can see here that I just removed the input. So for moving on the empty, whatever, the empty string. And that's it.